All right, guys, Pro Pump 101 here, backed up by all our sponsors and Product One, Health Performance, Uncommon Peaks, Token Choke, Challenge, and Man Frame, and Game Up Nutrition, and Battle Test and Victory Multi-Sport. Give us a little about your name and your background, where you're from, and just a little bit of detail from, what you've been through so far.
Well, my name is Victoria Kinsey. I'm 24 years old. I'm a mom of three. I'm a professional bodybuilder now. That's awesome. I love that. I used to be really fat, and I was like, let's not be fat anymore. And it turned into something absolutely crazy. That's
Amazing.
literally
Amazing.
what happened.
No, seriously, a lot of times that does happen, a lot of who was it? I was talking to another bodybuilder, and this wasn't on a podcast, but I was talking to him. He said that he had gained a lot of weight, and he wanted to switch it around to be, more in fit of himself, and then he went towards the aspect of bodybuilding. And that's a lot of people these days actually do that, and it's amazing seeing that.
Well, I originally took off in MMA and grappling and wrestling and all that jazz. And I've trained it for years. I had my first fight or whatever, and boy, I got stomped. Let me tell you, I did. I got a broken nose, all kinds of stuff. And I realized that in order to do that job, you have to have like everybody has to have heart to like compete into something. You have to have the heart to do it. It's not just about the skill set. If you can, you have to have heart. And fighting is definitely one of those. And my heart just wasn't in it. So I've kind of just progressed on with my fitness journey. I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I was meant to be an athlete. And it just this kind of fell in my lap. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. And I love it. It's crazy how much of it goes into more of the diet nutrition side than the actual lifting part.
Mhm.
That's what really intrigues me about it.
What exactly? So I was talking to Ty. Ty said you did some MMA fights, and he said that you did some stuff like that. And I like Ty.
Oof.
He's really down to earth and everything he talks about and how he presents himself and everything else. It's an honor to talk to him in certain situations, certain stuff like that. But he told me about you and how you're doing it and how you're representing yourself, in that area for MMA, and then you transition into the bodybuilding phase. I mean, how did that? What made you think like, hey, I want to transition to the bodybuilding phase? Did something click that said I want to be pro in this?
Well, so Ty is probably one of my biggest mentors. Shout out to
Mhm.
that man. He is gold, gold, gonna get gold. I'm telling you. Um, I trained with Ty like because I felt at the place I was at, I needed a little more. I needed like tutoring basically in the fine tuning skills. So I started training with Ty. I got stronger. He taught me so much about everything, especially a lot about wrestling and grappling. Oh man, I love me a good wrestling match. Oh, love it. And it kind of got into the point of I didn't want to get hit. I didn't want to take the hard blows because as much as it was like I could do it and I can do it, being that sore and hurting that bad, like with a family, that's what's hard. Like I still have to get up every day and do my everyday mom tasks. It's not, I can sleep all day and go to the gym when I want, eat when I want, like a full living adult with everyday tasks. So when you're getting beat up, that does take a toll on your body even more. Um, but bodybuilding, it's a fair way that I can get my workout in early morning if I want, right? And then I just eat clean through the day. I have to make the time for myself. I don't get to just take it out of whatever I want. And that's my self discipline. That's what keeps me going because I feel that if I do the same thing every day, if I have a routine, I succeed. And that's kind of where bodybuilding falls into my category is that it's literally doing the same thing over and over every day. It's consistency. And that's what I need in my life to make sure that I have control over my emotions, my personality, my physical being, how I am to mothering my kids. All of that goes into if I've had the same routine. Because if I break my routine, I get a little spastic and I'm a little more on edge. It's something that fits me and my body frame and my life. And it
Yep.
turns out I
No,
excel at it. I mean, it just kept going, and I was like, okay, well,
No, it's
and
amazing because no, it's amazing because you have to adapt right to the bodybuilding side and you have to adapt to the family side. So like when you're going into it, you have to make sure you're diverse in everything you're doing, but at the same time, you want to make sure you stay healthy as could be and stay on top of it. But with bodybuilding, at least all you gotta do is work on, you gotta it's very I noticed like when I used to fight too, and then I went to the bodybuilding phase of it now too. I noticed that the nutrition and the weightlifting is a lot different, right? Everything's
yes.
different. It's a lot more intriguing, right? You're focusing more on the muscle, and you're focusing more on the definition and everything, and then the poses. And I didn't believe this at all, but a lot of people said that when you're done with a set, when you know that set, you want to flex a little bit, right? After that set, and you want to see what that definition is. And a lot of people in the gym will think like you're crazy. I had this one kid. I was in the gym and I was just, working out normal. And then he kept like after he got on his tricep, he kept turning around, trying to flex his
Hmm.
tricep. It was just awesome seeing that, right? Young kid doing that and everything. So it's really cool. I mean, when you started doing this and you started adapting to the family life, into the bodybuilding session, I mean, how did that change your mindset going into bodybuilding, and knowing you have the family to take care of and you have to make sure that, your bodybuilding side and how'd you like separate that? That's the biggest thing.
So I don't see it as separation really. My kids now, like when it first started, my kids are 7, 6, and 4, and so they were really little when I started. It didn't really affect them, but now it's starting to, but they just know mom has to go to the gym. That's what mom does. Mom trains people. She does bodybuilding prep. She helps people get healthy, stuff like that, and um, it all goes into the same thing. Like my kids, I don't have my kids go to my shows because I feel that is like that's a me accomplishment, right? And then also when you're all tan and gunky and stuff and you just want to grab your kids, you're just going to ruin it. Like you are. You're just going to get it all over them. And I know a lot of people probably don't see it that way, but I do. But my kids they'll go in there, they'll grab my medals and be like, this is so heavy. Or they see a superhero on the TV and they're like, my mom looks like that. Like, yeah, that's pretty awesome feeling. And I think it's honestly is it teaching and helping them understand that you have to do the disciplinary actions that you have to take care of your day before you get to play. Like my kids have to make their bed every day, right? Before they
Hmm.
get to go play. It's the same thing. It's the same mentality. You just have to do what you got to do before you can go do whatever else you want to do. And for
Hmm.
me, that's drink 32 ounces of water as soon as I wake up. That's get up and ice roll your face. Wake up, get up and go do your cardio. Go do your lift. Be sure you eat before you go. And honestly, now that I'm not in prep anymore, it's a lot. I appreciate everything around me. I didn't realize like how moody and on edge you are like until after you're done. Now I get to regulate my food more, get to eat more, kind of have a little free will. And man, I look at my life and I'm like, holy cow, my life is great. What was I so mad about? Well, when you're only eating 1,500 calories a day, I mean, it'll make you a little crazy and psycho sometimes.
Oh
And
yeah. No, it's
that's the hardest factor is the food. If I don't get enough food, I'm angry, I'm a little upset, and balancing that between family is that's what gets hard.
hmm
And I'm not perfect at it. And I know that nobody is,
hmm
but that's just something another thing you work towards every day to be better at.
100%. Yeah. Dividing that nutrition, right, with the family life because you're so busy, nonstop, boom, boom, because there's a lot of stuff going on outside of, like school and everything, and then a lot of stuff going on with the kids, and then a lot of stuff going on with the family life. It's just a lot of really busy, right? The busyness of it and being a mom and everything, and then making sure that you're also on the same side, making sure that you're trying to get to in the gym at a certain time, and you're trying to make sure that you're getting those reps in, the nutrition in, and the pre-meal in before you go to the gym. So it's all like lined up. Now I ask you this: on that aspect, how does your time schedule look? You know, do you use your phone a lot to time everything as a time management skill, or do you go out and you write everything down on paper so you can track every single on your nutrition, everything?
Man, that's a really good one. I'm pretty sporadic. I am
Mhm.
still trying to figure out the best organization method for me. But everything that I've done so long on repeat that it's kind of instilled. So how it works is my normal every day is I wake up about 6 o'clock. I get up, I get my kids to school. After they get to school, I go to work. I train a few people, then I go get my lift in while making sure my meals are already prepped the night before. Sometimes I forget. I have to go buy a meal prep, right? Get my lift. I go back to the gym, train more people. Then I get to go home. And at that time, when I was in prep, I would make two separate meals. Like my kids would eat dinner, and then I would have to make my stuff completely separate because my kids aren't going to eat asparagus and fish every single meal, right? So like, and that's always hard too, sitting at the table and they're eating all this delicious spaghetti, and I'm just like, go team, mustard and asparagus, love that. That's delicious. um, I'm definitely busy most days. I'm a dancer at night, and I've done that for years as well. It's helped me go into my bodybuilding journey because you just there's a aesthetic look to be a dancer, right? And I wasn't
Mhm.
that aesthetic look, which meant I didn't make as much money. I want to appeal to everyone, right? So that's part of what went into this. Blonde haired, blue eyed girl that's skinny, everyone's going to look at that. Well, there you go. And now I make more money. And then Wednesday nights and Thursday nights, I'm not even home with my family. I'm gone from Wednesday, I leave roughly about 8 o'clock in the morning and I don't get home till 4 a.m.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I get pretty long, brutal days, but in order to pay for everything that I need to sustain the time that I need to train, the time I have to meal prep, the time I get to hang out with my kids. So when I'm home, I'm home. I try not to think about work. I try not to go anything around the gym, nothing. I try to be present in my home and in my family's realm of love, I guess I would
Mm.
say.
Yep. No, that's good. I mean, like when you say you go dance wise, is it like what describe a little bit of it so that everybody knows. So I
Okay,
don't know.
so if okay, the term that most people would know is a stripper, right?
Okay.
I don't consider myself a stripper, but does anybody? I consider myself an exotic dancer because I'm an actual entertainer.
There you go.
I don't. It's not like a St. Louis club where you go out
Hmm.
and you twerk everywhere and you make all this money. That's not the case. You actually have to talk to people. That's what I love about it. I love talking to anybody and everybody. If you can't talk to me, you got a chip on your shoulder, and that's the end of it. um, and I've done that for 5 years, and I kind of got into like the pole tricking, like um pole dancing, I guess you call it now. Well, all that stuff's hard, you know what I mean? Like it's not easy to be able to do the flexy, bendy, strong stuff, and that's kind of what I do. And it kind of flew into, well, I'll just lift some weights and get stronger for this. Well, that turned into just let's lift some more weights so I can pose in front of people.
No, 100%. That's good though. That's good. You're getting better at, a lot of I've seen a lot of those videos, right? You see those on TikTok, you see those on Instagram sometimes, with pole videos and everything, and a lot of the girls there. I mean, it's tremendous to see, right? The strength they have just to do all that. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's very big. It's very big. A lot of people don't understand, but it's very hard, right? To
Mm-hmm.
actually get a pole and do all that. So definitely kudos to you on that. That's amazing. Keep up the good work, and really advancing that in that side too, because it's hard because you gotta go through certain people, and it's hard sometimes. You gotta talk to certain people there that don't want to talk, in certain ways, and they look at you different ways, and it's very hard. And but at the same time, it's amazing because then you interaction wise with them, and you get more involved into that. So it's cool too. There's big sides in it and everything. So that's why when I was asking that, I can see the bodybuilding phase, the bodybuilding side of what you're doing. I could see, right, the definition of it and how you're fit and how you want it to get in that right mindset and to train in a great way, and to really take it to the next level. And I can tell you right now on your Instagram, you winning those, trophy, win those medals and everything else, you took it to the next level, and it's going in the great direction, and big things are happening in the future for you. So I can't wait to see what exactly that is, more.
Oh, I'm taking, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to take Worlds next year. In the fall of the 2024, I will be the IPE Pro World Champion for women's physique. No, no doubt about it. That's exactly what's going to happen. Um, and actually another thing, so I'm a posing coach, and I emphasize on posing, because if you're a bodybuilder and you can't pose, you're not a bodybuilder. Like, there's so much more than just nutrition or lifting. Like, posing is key. If you work so hard on this physique, I mean, day in and day out, every day, and then it comes showtime and you get up there and you can't look how you need to look, like, that's gonna hurt you. There was my last show, there was honestly a girl in my category that could have beat me, hands down. She totally could have, but her posing was terrible.
Mm,
Every girl's posing I see, unless they're Olympia level or IFBB Pro, even some of them are just, it's absolutely not good. Same for the men. We think, oh, just because I flex my biceps, right? Oh, this is right. No, that's not how that works. You got to have symmetry. You got to have flow. You have to have all these things. Like, a lot of people don't understand that most of the posing that is associated with bodybuilding, you're not flexing. Like, you see these big guys that are shaking like this on stage. Why? Because what we're doing is we're separating our joints and our muscles so far to a point that our muscles that we have will naturally pop out. We shouldn't be straining on stage. That's completely wrong. You should be able to stand there like a brick and just look, because we're just we're maneuvering our body into a place of tension. We're not flexing it. And like you said, in the gym where everybody flexes a little bit after they get
mhm,
a lift or whatever, absolutely. I do that to make sure my pumps on each side are equal. Two, because if you work out that muscle and then you like go into a side chest, say you're doing biceps and you go into a side chest to flex your bicep. Well, that doing that right after that movement is going to train your bicep to look the best in that position. So like, people try to do flex overhead like this, right? Well, if we practice this way, if that's what we need, that's where our biceps going to look the best. It's, you got to train your muscles to look a certain way. That's
mm.
where the toning, the sculpting, all that stuff comes from, is your posing. If you can pose, you're going to win. If you can't pose, you're only going to make it so far. And I truly believe that. And it's the luck of the draw of who shows up to those shows, because you never know who's going to show up ever. Like, you
No,
could show up and you are got your money cut out for you, or you can show up and you're just like, okay, I got this totally. You just never know.
nope, you never know, because I mean, I look at Arnold, right? I still look at Arnold Schwarzenegger when he does the flow, right, and how he flows with it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, you don't see the bodybuilders these days doing that flow. They don't go turn it, adapt to it, turn around, and they don't adapt to the back, the biceps, the side view, or anything. So it's amazing, because on the back side, when you're actually doing the back and trying to get the cut out and everything, it's very intriguing, because a lot of people don't understand you have to spread out the back too, the muscle and everything. You don't see a
When
lot of people these days that do that.
when that goes into even lifting form too. Like, so
Yep.
many people that I see, even these big guys that are huge, like doing lat pull downs, doing them completely wrong. They
Hmm.
could totally have so much more growth and so much more benefits to those things if they did them right. Or like my dancing, that goes into my flow. That has helped my flow more than anything. If you're wearing 8-inch heels, you better figure out how to be graceful really fast. That's the part of it. And that has definitely helped me with my posing. And when people see me pose, that's kind of their first thought. It's like, wow, you have flow. And that's kind of what I'm going for on business side of things, because I'm a posing coach and I want to be an online posing coach. And my my business handle there is Mind Body Flow, and
Yep.
it's gonna be pretty cool. I can't wait to get some people in on that. And actually, let's win some shows because of our posing, And
100%.
everybody goes straight to Arnold too, and that's funny because if I had to choose someone that I really look up to in the bodybuilding world, it would be Jay Cutler.
Jake, yep, that's a good one too.
He I don't know, I just relate with him. I do. I watch all his videos. A new hot topic is that Sam Sulik guy. Everybody loves him. But I think it's becoming more of a fad. I think we want the people that we're never gonna forget, but we don't want to bring up other people that are just as good, like Ronnie Coleman, like all these guys. They always get name dropped, right?
Hmm.
But we don't look at actually how deep it can go. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he took ballet classes, guys. I mean, come on, just to be flowy, to learn how to create lines with his body, symmetry, because that's what bodybuilding is about, is symmetry. No matter what category you're in, if you can create symmetry, well, you're most likely to win.
100%. 100%. No, I mean, like, look at Frank Zane, right? Frank Zane won it against Arnold against his posing.
Mm-hmm,
I agree with that to this day. And then look at Louis, right? Louis won it too, with his he won it in that back in the I think it was the 80s, right? 80, no, 90s.
mm-hmm.
80s or no, it was later 80s, early 90s. But anyways, he won it, and when he won it, he had that flow, right? He had a nice
Mm-hmm.
flow.
Well, and see, everybody has their own flow too. It can be a fast flow, it can be a slow flow. You just have to find who you are as a person and accentuate that. You know, um, it gets tough because that's how you show your personality is on stage. How fast you go into a pose, how slow you go into a pose, how what your best poses are. That shows a lot too. Like if you have your back poses are the best, it's like, okay, you like back day, right? It's obvious, like you're confident. You get more confident with the poses you like, and you can naturally see that from somebody's body language. Like
Mhm.
everybody gets so hyped over like a lat spread, right? They're like, oh my gosh, it goes crazy, But if somebody had a really good lat spread, but they did it, okay, great. But they really liked abdominals. You can see them light up when they do those poses. But the difference between me and everyone else is I love every single pose. It doesn't matter what it is. I am going to be the best at that pose. I can outpose grown men. And it's it's simply the fact of knowing your body. Are you in tune with your body? Like just how in tune with it are you? Because I can tell you if I got a leg hair that's growing a little longer than the rest, well, that's how in tune with my body I am.
100%. 100%. No, you're right. There's a lot of men out there that the reason why they got the look, right, the muscle, but they don't have the pose down. So that's what it comes down to on stage too. Like the legs, you gotta have the legs that present with the body too. Look at C, look at the way C Bum, right? How he won his championship again, the fifth one, and the other guys are runner up. And the reason why that is a lot of them didn't they did improve, but again, like you're saying, it's the pose, right? Seabum has
Mhm.
this really good pose, and when he
He
just
does.
overrules it all, and that's the
You
thing. A
know,
lot of people don't understand.
a lot of people will disagree with me on this, and I know this, but even with me being the biggest Jay Cutler fan of all time, probably, um, I think Sebum has the best physique and posing, the best package that has ever been brought to an Olympia stage. I
Mhm.
fully believe that over Arnold, over everybody. The way that people where they mess up is when they start taking PEDs and steroids and stuff, right? They don't do it in the right manner. So they'll get too much of something, too little of something, and that can affect your physique drastically. His coaches have done such a very, very good job of making sure that he is symmetrical. He doesn't look like does he look like he's on roids? Sure. But if you look at him, you're like, wow, his skin is clear. Like he has symmetry. His waist is so small, but everything else is huge. Like He's chiseled out perfectly. You can see every single thing. There's no soft, no such thing as soft it on him.
Mm.
Arnold had a lot of softness. And let's be real, Arnold cheated his way to the top quite a bit. Okay, he did.
Yep.
And a lot of people brag on about that. And it's kind of like, did he do the work? Absolutely. Did he have the heart and the glory? Absolutely. He did what he had to do to win, and that's all that matters. But if you look at behind the scenes, come on. But I think Sebum looks absolutely the best out of everybody in history right now. I will agree to that and fight anybody on that.
Yeah, I mean, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, they did say he used to play some games right here and there. He used to play some stuff here and there, and they did say in the movies and everything, for Puppet Iron, I think it is.
Oh yeah, that was a great
Yep.
movie. Love
And
that movie.
and he says in there, he one of the teachers say that he was actually bigger than Arnold and his flow was better. And they're wondering where his T-shirt was. They couldn't find his T-shirt, and I
Yep,
guess I
yeah,
guess
I seen that.
Arnold, yeah, Arnold hit it, and
Yeah.
he said he'll never find it. And then Arnold played mind games, like really good mind games. Everybody, he always played those mind games, but like nobody thought he was serious about it. The only people that really thought he was serious was his friends, right? His close
Mhm.
friends. So it would be like his friends and everything would make sure that he is, you know, how serious Arnold is, and then when he's joking. So it's very
Well,
awesome to see how Puppy Iron was.
also a lot of those mind games, the reason why they were played at show is because our cortisol levels change really fast, right? And cortisol goes up when we're stressed, it goes down when we're not. If someone gets stressed out, especially show day, oh, even minutes before you go on that stage, you're going to wash out. You will. You won't be as defined. You won't be as dry. Your body will produce, because you're dehydrated for 24 hours anyway, right? You have no liquid going in or out really. And if it's going out, it's minimal and you're lucky to get it out.
Mm.
If you get nervous, a lot of people they'll look so great, they're pumping up in the room, and then when they're in line to go get ready and go on stage, they'll wash out because their cortisol raises. They don't practice having that. And how I do that is that I'll go in the middle of my gym. We have this like big platform thing in the middle of it's like a exercise room, the platform where the instructor's on. I'll walk right up on that platform in front of God and everybody. We'll start posing and facing them, looking at them. I don't care who you are, because I don't care who I'm posing in front of. I don't care who I'm next to, because when I'm on stage, whoever's next to me doesn't matter. What matters is me looking at those judges, making making them understand that I'm who they should be looking at. As much as it is a team sport and like we can be friends and sportsmanship, when you get out on that stage, it's only you. And that's what I love about it. I love the individuality. I don't have to count on anybody to make sure something gets done. I know that what I bring to the table is what I did. Could I do more? Could I do less? How
Mm.
much did you do? You can't be upset at your results that you have if you didn't put forth the work to have the results you wanted.
100%. No, I agree. I agree on all that. Also, and through this whole thing, your bodybuilding and what you won a championship, you won the awards and everything. Do you have a coach, or are you just train on your own right now? How is that looking
So
for you?
I think it's always wise to have a coach. I did for the last 3 years here about this the last two no this last show I did not have a coach, due to
Wow.
one, funds, two, because the coach that I did have, we were really close, and I was with him for 2 years. We competed together, and my my bank account got thrown for fraud, and
Mhm.
it like canceled the thing, and it did it like that was the second time in 2 years that it just did that, and he got mad about it. And he was like, well, you're already being priced lower than everyone else. If you want to get back on it, you're going to have to pay extra this amount. And you're going to be lucky if I even let you on as one of my athletes again. And I'm like, okay, see ya. Don't need you.
Yep.
That's simple as what it was. I mean, you're not, because the consistency is there. And I have a hard time trusting coaches because there's a lot of shitty ones out there who don't know what they're doing.
Mm.
And I'm currently in the midst of looking for another coach because for this year, I'm going to need that. I'm going to need someone to control me a little bit on my food, dial me in more, because as much as I have accountability, if I say, think in my brain, I have a whole year. Well, it's like, oh, well, how many snack cakes can I eat before? Like, no, I can't do that. My main priority is just gain, gain, gain. And if I don't have somebody in my ear saying, hey, remember what you're doing this for, I may not make it, and I'm not going to let that happen. So
100%.
currently on the search for a coach for me,
Good.
because you
Well,
get
that's good.
you get blinded sometimes. Like you stare at your own physique so much that you're seeing things that aren't there, or you're not seeing things that are there. Like a lot of the time I can be 120 pounds, like getting ready to walk on stage. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not lean enough. I'm not lean enough, but I'm literally as lean as I could possibly ever be. And
Mm.
that's just body dysmorphia. That's consistence of looking at something without taking a step back. That's why it's important in bodybuilding to have a coach. You should never coach yourself unless you are just elite of the elite, which I'm not going to say I'm the elite of the elite, but I'm the elite of the elite. And I did it successfully, but I definitely sent pictures to other of my bodybuilding friends and was like, hey, do I look watered out? Hey, do I need to do this? Hey, do you think I look dry? So on and so forth. I mean, I had help, and you should always
Mm.
have help.
100%. I agree. I agree on that also. It's congrats. Yeah. And also kudos to you because you went to that show and you won it. And that's amazing without having a coach, you knew exactly, what to do, but also you also went on the opposite side and you asked your other right friends and messaged them. That's amazing.
Well, I actually this past show was a little more crazy because I was coaching somebody while coaching myself, and we both competed at that same show together. And
Oh
so
wow.
I wasn't only looking for myself, I was looking for someone else too. And that was really difficult. Actually, I didn't think it was going to be that hard, but it kind of was, because I had to make sure she filled out right, I filled out right, and I was doing 3 categories and she was just doing one. And she actually ended up beating me out of the last category, which we were in together, because I just washed out. I had no more definition left. I got soft, I got flat. I carved up too much, came down too fast, carved up too much, had nothing left. And she was more defined than me. And this was her first show. She got third place figure in amateurs, and I got fourth place, which I haven't had a fourth place medal since my first show, but I got a first, and that was the only one, so I wasn't mad at all. It was kind of like,
Yeah.
this is her time to shine. Let her, have her thing. And she's got a show coming up December 2nd too. But that's what was hard, was trying to balance 2 at once. Oh man, that was, whew. I thought
Bet you
my
it was.
cortisol levels were going to be too high.
I bet you it was. No, seriously, I bet you it was overwhelming. I also want to ask you, what's the future hold going in the end of the year, and then on what you want to do, and then hitting the new year with what you want to do too.
So I think with the new year, my goal is to really dial in on my food, because I've never done a bulk before. In the last 3.5 years, I've been in a consistent deficit. I didn't take the multiple ways to go up or down. I kind of maintained and just had what I had. And so now I have to eat in surplus grounds and actually make a size difference. And it's going to be nuts. Oh man, I know I'm going to grow. Oh, my body's waiting for it. Um, and I'm going to hit a 250-pound squat by the end of the year. That's a goal. Those are the kind of little goals I make. Because if you make little goals like that, all your goals are just going to align. You can't just be like, my one goal is I'm going to win this next year.
Hmm.
Okay, well, what are some other goals you have before that you have to succeed to get there, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it is. I think I'm going to implement more of a powerlifting style to my training to see if I can gain a little more size faster, and then tone it back down to the secretion of each individual muscle group, stuff like that later on in the year. But right now, I think I'm trying to get my numbers up, my strength up, and just get some size on me.
Amazing. No, amazing because I that's what I do. That's what I do. I actually put the powerlifting. Michael Herring really I attract a lot of stuff from him with his lifting style, and I use it with my style too for this for the bodybuilding scene and everything. Now it's actually so like the other day I did like what you're saying with your body and repping up. Actually, I'll do like 5 sets, 6 sets of five, and I'll just do five reps. And I'll try to just do five. If I can't do five, even like Mike said, you do two, one, or three. It's heavy weight, right? You want the heavy weights, you want the fibers to hit. You want the fibers to hit, and everybody just like sits there. A lot of times, I also do is I really focus on the triceps when I do like kind of lighter weight. And I don't know if you know this, but Arnold actually did also 35s and 40-pound bicep weights only. So he wouldn't tear before he went on stage or the couple weeks before he went in. He actually would not tear that bicep at all. And so he would just
Yeah.
do like a lot of reps before
Yeah.
he went in
So
there.
that's a traditional kind of bodybuilding thing, though. So when you get closer to show day, not only do you not want to rip down your fibers like that, the goal is to maintain what you have because you're eating such little of food that your muscles will start to break down and you'll lose what you have, right? Well, our job is to maintain that, which is low weight, high rep. We just want to fill that muscle with as much blood as we can. We're not trying to tear it down. We're not trying to gain strength. We're not trying to do any of that. Like I'll go from shoulder pressing 40s in my off season to 15s because, and
Mm.
I think I'm going to die with 15s. 15 reps of 15s when you're that low and have nothing, you're just like, this is the worst thing in the world.
The pump's
And
probably great.
no, no,
Oh, you
because you
like the
have no
smell? You like the
carbs.
pump? I
No,
love
you're
the pump.
you're getting rid of most of your carbs like
Yeah.
week 3
Oh,
before your show. You're really going to start getting rid of your carbs, and
yeah.
and then you're just fighting for your life at that point. You really are. And it's just a matter of keep going. That is the time to keep your foot on the gas and don't stop. Your body hurts, your joints hurt, everything hurts. But that is what makes you a bodybuilder right there. If you feel that, you made it. You're there, buddy. Like finish it. And that's
I
where
mean,
my
you
girl's in
you
right now. She's in peak week and she's dying. She's like, I just want it to be done. And
yeah,
that's the
but
state you get to.
look on stage. If you look at the other girls when you were on stage, you actually had like you could see your whole abs. Like if you, I don't know if you noticed that, but on the one
Mm-hmm.
stage you could see your full set of abs. But compared to other girls, I can't really, I couldn't really see like all their abs. But
And
yours, I seen yours.
that is, and that's another one of those things. Like everybody has abs. You should see everyone's abs. It's posing. I, oh my gosh, that was my one pose that I had trouble with was abs. Like I was like, I got to get this down, and I practiced all last year. And you just got to find your sweet spot and train your muscles to flex when you want them to flex in that position. And that's repetition. Repetition. The more you do it, the better you're going to get, and it's going to take a long time. More and more and more and more and more. Not only do I pose in between sets, I pose for a total 20 minutes after my workouts every single day. Same poses over and over, no matter what. And that really helped me, I feel, this time around. Having my abs be there, I think that was a big turning point for the competition decision. My abs and my back. Those were my main things that I had. My legs didn't really come in how I wanted, honestly. They no definition there. And I've had definition in them before. I don't know. I think maybe I just didn't get enough carbs. Maybe I just didn't get down low enough in weight. But either way, I was happy with what I brought to the stage. I know it's going to be 10 times better, and I'm going to be 10 times leaner when I come back. And I'm going to absolutely destroy it coming next fall. So
Nope, I can't wait to see what you do next fall, and I can't wait to see how progress in the right direction. And also, thanks for letting us help you out with sponsoring you and everything. It was really
oh no,
amazing. We're really blessed, and again, thanks for coming on the podcast too.
of course, anytime.
So I'm gonna just wrap it up a little bit, but make sure everybody out there to check her out, and make sure that when you do bring out the posing online, uh,
Mhm.
make sure to message you and let us know. We'll share everything also on our page, so that
Sounds great.
we could really bring it out more and that our viewers see it and everything. So, where can they follow you at? And then tell us a little bit, that.
You can follow me on Instagram at Kinsey5404, or you can follow me on TikTok at KinseyVic5797. That'd be great as well. Yep. Online bodybuilding coaching and posing coaching coming soon. So keep mind, body flow in your brains.
I can't wait. I can't wait because I mean, it's gonna be amazing to see you progress in that direction and seeing online and then seeing what you're doing in person. Because I had other, top coaches tell it too that you have to experience right in face to face and then to go online and that's what you're doing. So that's amazing to see that you're progressing in the right direction. So I can't wait for all that and thank you for coming out. It was an honor seeing you on, talking to you and everything. You got a great journey ahead of you. You got a great future and a bright future ahead of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have a great night.
You too.
Bye bye.